All right, so there's this giant phenomenon going on. It's as big as the 9/11 theories already, which is the birther thing. And here's going to be the extent of my coverage of this issue is going to be in the form of a question to you, hopefully by the end of it anyway. It seems to me like what's going on here is people know that they are getting severely screwed. They know something is terribly wrong. In this case, trying to externalize it and believe in a myth that, oh, I get it. You know, this guy who's in charge now is some foreigner who's this external force against us, and that's the source of our problem, that kind of thing, as sort of the easy psychological answer. But the real answer that everybody, left, right, libertarian, and every other kind of self-described definition that people have, the problem of what we face and what's ruining our society is empire and permanent warfare. This is the source of our problem. All the yellow ribbons and American flags and all those things aside, isn't it the case that birtherism or any of these other things are simply a stand-in for the corporatist empire that is tearing us down here, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, in short, yes. I think the best coverage of the birthers has been from Jon Stewart and Comedy Central. I mean, you know, a lot of this stuff also is false nationalism. There's white supremacy, and there's also just stupidity. I mean, people who are up in arms, running around with their birth certificate, disrupting town hall meetings, and getting, you know, endless airtime from Fox News. You know, these people couldn't be bothered to take to the streets to protest any issue that actually affects people in this country or around the world. And I think the Democrats and these loony birthers have something in common in that they love to find things that are completely irrelevant to the lives of the people of this country and the victims of U.S. policy around the world, and make that the central focus of discussion. And that's what this whole birther thing has been. It's been a distraction from the fact that we don't have adequate health care in this country whatsoever, that Obama's plan is very pro-corporate. We don't have a foreign policy that ever is about justice. It's always about conquest. Those are the premier issues of our day. This birther stuff is a ridiculous movement of crazy people for the most part.
Well, but see, here's the thing. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who you might meet in the neighborhood and on any other level but the political level, you'd think they're perfectly nice people, and they're dying to believe in something like this. There's a reason that this is catching on. I mean, I agree with you that the people pushing the lawsuits and whatever are just a bunch of hoaxsters and whatever, but there are apparently millions of people who are glomming right onto this because they see everything falling apart around them and they need a reason why. And so, you know, why not? There's a foreign, you know, KGB agent guy running things or whatever as the explanation.
But you have to stop and step back from it and think of it. How could the conspiracy have happened? So Obama's Kenyan father, who had this idea to have an ad taken out in a newspaper in Honolulu to announce his birth, so that one day, 40-something years later, his son would be elected president.
Yes, his black son, born in the early 60s, sure to be president one day.
Right. And what? Push the Kenyan agenda? I mean, what's the end game here? Like, I mean, I don't get what the point is to these people. And even if they were right, what would it do? What does it mean? Does it mean that Obama didn't kick John McCain's butt up and down the court in the last election? I mean, give me a break. That's why it's the big distraction. I mean, it's a non-story, and it's a complete distraction. I think it's sad. I do. I really think it's sad that these people have been given so much airtime for this cause. But you're right, a lot of people believe it. They also believe that his name is Barack Mohammed Obama, and he was born in Indonesia in a madrasa. I mean, come on, these are the people saying this
Well,
stuff.
see, this is what really bums me out, is because here you have the greatest conspiracy theory movements ever, and they're not about banks and arms manufacturers and politicians killing people overseas, and we all call it war, and we all know exactly what it is. It's all right in front of our faces. Instead, it's all about silliness, and it's great anti-government spirit, but it's so misdirected. It drives me crazy.
Right. I mean, this is the fact of the matter is we have a one-party system in this country whose primary function is to serve corporate interests and extend the reach of the U.S. empire so that corporations continue to benefit. We live in a corporatist society now. In the Bush administration, it was sort of made naked in front of the world. The Democrats come back in and they repair the reputation. Mark my words, Obama is going to extend the hand of U.S. empire further than the Republicans could ever have dreamt. and he's going to do it and repair the U.S. reputation in the process, and he's going to expand that the politics of empire. It's up to independent journalists, sites like Antiwar.com, shows like yours, all of us who struggle on a daily basis, whether it's a Democrat or Republican in office, to actually say that the emperor has no clothes, and call it what it is, and talk about empire, and not be afraid to condemn it for what it is.
Well, consider your words marked, and I'm afraid that I can't disagree with you. I think you're absolutely right. But that's going to be what it is. But we'll certainly be keeping an eye on your journalism, everybody. Again, that's Jeremy Scahill, author of Blackwater, The Rise of the World's Most Powerful Mercenary Army. He writes for Antiwar.com. His blog is Rebel Reports. You can see him quite often on Democracy Now! And again, I want to thank you for your time on the show today.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for what you're doing.